B like boy, U, M like Mary, P, Paul, A, S, Sam, S, Sam. And I said, I don't know how they ever came up with that name, but that's the official name of the closest town to this big body of water. And I said, we have to hope that it's somebody's old family name, because otherwise, why would you have that as a name?
That's right.
It's a horrible. Can you imagine being on Family Feud? They announced that. Oh boy.
That's really funny. Well, I think I just heard from Clarence and Marcus. They were going to hop on the call. So I have 2:58.
Is there just like 5 of us on this?
Currently, yes.
Oh, okay.
Wayne, are you there?
I am now. Yeah, I'm probably trying to get the right phone numbers and everything. I had a little problem that it went down. I was a little frustrated. From the numbers.
With the meeting?
I'm here now.
Okay, very good. Yeah, the GoToMeeting was having me try to download something, so we're going to fix that, though. We're going to go to a whole other system next time.
Oh, boy.
No, we have new phones, which Kay adores. She loves them all.
Oh, no, I didn't. And I asked David to call me, and he sent me back a note that DJ would call me. That was last Wednesday, and I haven't heard anything yet, so it's not working.
Well, I haven't seen him, Kay. But when I do, I'm going to tell him. Call Kay. But we have Ring Central here, and the conference, it has a conference line, so we're going to set up our meetings to go. Yeah.
That's who I use. Ring
Yeah.
Central.
So they have a ton of features, learning them all.
Oh my gosh, it is an amazing system.
Yeah.
Nothing against franchise phones by Clarity that we endorse through ProTradeNet and so forth, but that doesn't hold a candle to what this system can do.
Yeah, so now
You'll have to to that. Yeah, all of us are still working with it.
Yeah, I mean, I can control my phone system from my cell phone.
I know, that's the best part for me. That you can switch
Oh my
that
gosh.
around.
Yeah,
But yeah.
messages, everything. I mean, it's you can send text messages through the system
Yep.
now.
A fax.
Yeah, you can send a fax through there. If someone wants to text your business number, they can text your business number. It's amazing.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Jeff, do you have the phone the actual phone, or do you just have a cell phone on your laptop and then have it on your app on your cell phone?
No, I actually have a desktop phone. I've got a Polycom.
Yeah. See, that's my problem. The desktop won't work for me. And so I
Is it
can't.
because of the internet speed where you live?
No, it's because I have wireless.
Oh.
Oh, you don't have an actual router that you can plug your phone into.
Right. No.
Oh, that's too bad. But functionality-wise, if you have good, strong cell phone service, and if you let your cell phone hook to the Wi-Fi in your home, you should be able to use it really well.
Yeah.
Well, the reason one reason I can't is because I keep saying that I need an updated version on my laptop, and I can't do that because those of us working out in the field can't make any changes. Like we can't add a printer or anything to our laptop. We have to go through IT, and they have to use the administrative password
Yeah.
to do that. Everything I try to do, it won't let me do, but I don't.
Sounds, Kay, like Jeff may be able to help you, though. So, all right, we have Austin, Clayton, Jeff, Jim, you're joining us.
Yes.
And Mike, Scorzo Shop.
Yes.
And Wayne Gaudette on the line. We're going to go ahead and start off with our code of values. So we'll just start and go down the line here. So I'll start us off with we live our code of values by treating others as we would like to be treated. Austin.
We live our code of values by listening with people, understanding what's being said, acknowledging what is said is important to the speaker. Clayton.
We live our code of values by responding in a timely fashion. Jeff Miller.
We live our code of values by speaking calmly calmly and respectfully without profanity or sarcasm. Jim?
I live our code of values by acknowledging everyone has rights from their own perspective.
I don't have all this.
Oh, go ahead, Kay.
We live our code of values by making only agreements we are willing, able, and intend to keep.
Scores of the shop.
My score's up.
We live our code of values by communicating and professional growth agreements that first pull the officer all parties concerned. Wayne Godet.
We live our code of values by looking to the system for correction and proposing all possible solutions if something is not working.
We live our code of values by operating in a responsible manner above the line.
We live our code of values by communicating honestly with purpose.
We live our code of values by asking clarifying questions if we disagree or do not understand. Jeff.
We live our code of values by never saying anything about anyone that we would not say
Sorry.
that we would not say
Oh, it's off the screen.
to him or her.
It's too big.
We'll fix that.
Initially striving to maximize internal and external customer loyalty.
We live our code of values by making violence. We live our code of values by making our best efforts to understand and appreciate the customer's needs in every situation.
And we live our code of values.
Having fun in the process.
Awesome. Marcus, I see you joined us. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Awesome. Happy Monday, everyone. All right, so
Happy Monday.
yeah, we have a few topics to go over today. First up, we are going to start on our work order update, how we're doing. Yep, we are. So since our last meeting 2 weeks ago, our legacy work orders, we've received 17 new work orders. And the PSI, the sold work orders, we've received 9. So just an overview, since our program launched on 3/15 of this year, we've received a total of 104 work orders. That's 29 PSI jobs and 75 legacy jobs. Last year, the program ended for the year. Now, granted, there was we had fewer stores, but they ended the year with 79 work orders. So you can tell we have already surpassed that. So the last 2 weeks, our Winchester store, they received 3, Beltsville 5, Catonsville received 4, Charlotte had 1, and Raleigh had 4 of those legacy work orders out of the 17. Then our PSI jobs, Ed Sieber's shop received 7 of them, and then Raleigh and Yankinville, they received 1 each. So it brings me to another topic. So we've had a few questions about the legacy. So when we started, we had several jobs that were canceled. And why were they canceled jobs? Well, as you guys know, we would, as the program was starting out, we were having to work out the kinks. I'm happy to report as of the last 2 weeks, we have not had any canceled legacy jobs. That goes to the stores are being visited, the stores are getting called, the program is being widespread, the materials are being sent out, and also we have some clarifying questions that have been are being asked whenever we're setting up those measurement dates. These questions here are actually ones that Jeff Miller's shop has been using to help, just make sure that that call before they go out to give that measurement is an actual legacy job. So we had some jobs that were canceled because they ended up being a type 1. So the customer wanted a slider, the customer wanted a shower that they saw in the store, or we had one case where the customer had already purchased the shower off the Lowe's store and wanted it installed. Those are all type 1 programs. So Jeff can actually elaborate on this, but he was telling me earlier that, you know, his first question that he has, and he's trained his ISR, and they're doing a great job when they're setting up these measurements dates to make sure that it is a true legacy job. They ask, is the tile work complete? Is the tile installed, in place, and has it been grouted? And if that is a yes, and it has to be a yes, then they go to the next question. Jeff, you can jump in at any moment if you would like.
Sure.
Okay.
Not a problem. The reason that these originated, these clarifying questions, we learned by process of being bitten a few times that the job was actually being taken care of to the degree we would want it to after we had done store visits and, you know, tried to give people education. But what we learned in a very short amount of time is that they don't do what they're supposed to do. Even after being visited, they know you're there, and the visits are definitely reaping, you know, they're sowing the seeds that we need to get our name out there and to get us to be the people that are even getting this opportunity. That definitely needs to happen. But the education process for them is a lot different than you training your own team internally. You never get to see everybody there without a lot of effort. So what we have started doing is when we work with the store, I have scanned in the shower guide for the Lowe's, and I've also scanned in the cards so that when I work with somebody and they say, I haven't seen this, and I will say, well, let me send it to you on email, you can print it out and you can have it. I'm getting feedback from some of the Lowe's customers that have said, well, they never showed me the types of heavy glass shower enclosures that there are and the price ranges. Because one of the things that we learned through this process is they're happy to have us come out. They just didn't fully understand what they possibly might be buying. Some of the people would say, oh, I just wanted one of the metal frame units like is in the store. So that's why we started going through the clarifying questions. Is your tile in? Okay, check. That's done. All right. What type of a shower are you looking for? Did they show you in the store the 4 different designs of the showers? Oh, no, I didn't see that. They told me they had something like that, but they couldn't put their hands on it. All right, well, then I qualify what kind of a shower it is. Is it just a door? Is it a door with an inline panel? Is it a neo angle? And so then I say, okay, well, the price range for the neo angle is $3,000 to $5,000. Is this something that you're comfortable with spending? You will know in very short order what they are expecting because they will be happy to tell you, oh my God, I didn't know it was going to be that much money. That tells you right then, I don't need to drive 40 miles one way to measure a shower that somebody had no intention of buying. But by asking those clarifying questions, we've actually converted some people that just wanted the metal frame shower that was in the aisle at the store to actually wanting a heavy glass shower. And we've also been able to save time when people had no desire at all to spend $2,500. They were at a $1,200 max, so they wanted a $600 or $800 in-store box unit and some labor to put it in. We also ask whether or not they want a sliding door, and if it's a metal frame unit or not. So if it's metal framed, we explain that that's not part of the program that we support. So by asking these questions, it has helped us qualify the customer better that Lowe's is not doing. And it also has actually, it's saved us some, but it's also made us some money. Does anybody have any questions?
Yeah, very good. Has anyone else had any luck? Because we're clearly having luck, or we're clearly getting better at this process. Does anyone else have anything they want to add to maybe what they're doing, tips of the trade, to be able to get these canceled jobs to go down?
This is Jim on the legacy.
we've only quoted 3 jobs, but 2 of them were a tear out. There was no new tiles, and we just added some miscellaneous labor to do the tear out and patch up the tiles.
Mm-hmm.
And were you doing heavy glass then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Yeah, we had one like that as well, and we added some money for tear out on that under that additional work item, and it worked perfectly. There was not a problem with it at all. So yes, that does work.
And another thing is, if you need this in PDF form, this is heavy shower glass. This is the estimator page that needs to go to the plumbing department. I can email it to you. And if you are on the call with the customer and maybe they haven't seen this, or maybe they want to look at it again to make sure that one of these pictures and price range is what they're actually looking for, you can email it over to them. But
Right.
also want to make sure that the plumbing department has this laminated sheet. And if you need more, maybe you've already passed them out to the PSIs, which the PSIs are not the ones that set up the legacy jobs. They come from the plumbing department. But maybe you passed out to the PSIs. I can print you some here at our office, and I can run them through our little laminator, and I will be happy to mail them to you. I hesitate sending them to the store. We've thought about doing that, but as you guys know, if you visited the stores, that one, you may not get the same person every time, or it may not go to the person it needs to. So it's best if you walk it in and drop it off to them and then discuss that. So shoot me an email if you need me to send you any more of these. I'll be happy to do that. And they are the 4 different price markets that we have. So I'll make sure I get those to you. So let's see here. Anyone have anything else on the legacy measurement dates or closing, or setting those jobs up? Okay. I'm gonna go back here. Apologize. Wayne was on the call last week, so he's already heard this, but one important thing when we're completing these jobs, and I saw Corey had hopped on, so he can test for this, that you have to have this certificate of completion turned in. I have to send it over to Lowe's, and that's how you get paid. The payment will hold up if the COC, as they call it, is not sent. So this section here, this one is one from Lowe's that is sent over. Now remember that in the shower design guide book itself, we had put one in there. That one has not been fully approved by Lowe's. They're still working on getting that approved. So if you need an actual Lowe's COC, I will be happy to email it to you, resend it out. And also it's on the G Drive, our shared drive with information on there. So you can print that off. You can print off several copies. It's a generic one, so you can keep it in your installer's vans or trucks. So there's no question. And also a tip, if by chance the customer is not there and they're not able to sign it, you can email it to them and try to get a signature that way. Because I hate for you guys to go out and make unnecessary trips to try to get this signed. But if you're calling and you're not having luck getting that customer to be able to get this signed, please make sure that you're making those Corrigo notes and you're letting me know that you've made 2-3 attempts on trying to get this signed and you're not having any luck. Because then I will email Lowe's to let them know, because we don't want to exhaust any more energy or time in trying to get that finished if we don't have to. So there are instances where the customer left and we're not able to get it, and Lowe's has given us permission to go ahead and invoice, and then we get those pushed through. So, does anyone have any questions on that?
No.
Okay. So let's talk next on our, sorry, I'm hopping around here, our meetings. Look.
For our meetings, I know Jim has had a lot of luck being able to get out to his stores, so he can let us know if he's had any questions. But Marcus, I know you had a meeting this last Wednesday. How did that meeting go? Marcus. Has anyone else been able to get out to their stores within the last 2 weeks?
I visited Wayne, I visited the 3 forming departments, and touched base with a couple of PSIs.
How'd that go?
So Wayne, this is Jim. How many times did you go to those stores before you
I only went
started?
one time. I just went one time. Unannounced, I was just in the area, so I looked in the stores, just tried to find out who was there. I missed one PSI by a coach. I met with the fire department, she was there, but when I got done with the fire department, she left, so I wasn't able to say hi. But I've been able to meet at least one person in the forming department, so I've not to. There's always somebody in the forming department.
So, are they already familiar with the program?
I'm sorry?
So, do they already know about the program a little bit? Have they heard about it, or is it completely new?
Yes, no, it depends on the person that I have to bump into.
Okay.
Depends on who's there. Sometimes they got new people who don't really know anything about it. Sometimes other people do. The PSI they had their store meetings, and they seemed comfortable with the program. I wasn't able to really offer anything extra. The PSI said we had the meeting. In the beginning, one of them said it was very complicated and difficult, but they understood it when it was all done. Well, we don't need to give them any orders. I still have more still on.
Yeah, we haven't, this is Jeff again, we haven't seen a lot of PSI work come out either, so I don't know what they're doing. I know that we've held the hands of a couple of them, you know, and entertained lots of questions and had a couple meetings with more than one. I don't see, I mean, unless their PSI departments are not very busy, I just don't see a lot of PSI work. I see more legacy stuff with people running through the aisles going to the plumbing department.
Well, this time of year is this time.
So, the PSI fishing question, I got not doing that many PSI jobs.
I think so as well.
This time of year is the slower part of
Charlotte, and we're holding about 14 PSIs right now that we have on the dock that we're waiting to hear from the general contractor. We've been having luck sending mass emails out to all the PSIs, just kind of updating them and touching base, letting them know that we're here if there's any questions. That we will make a site visit to the store if they want us to sit down. But we've been successful in answering a lot of questions via email as they've been sending sketches over to us and then talking on the phone and working it, you know, that way versus having to sit down at the store. And we offer that, you know, to go to the store, but we've been able to do it here in the office.
email is the best way to contact them because of how busy they are. They usually have pretty full schedules depending on the time of year and the location of the store. But we have been told by multiple avenues that email is definitely the best way to contact them because they can ask questions. They can send over, like you were saying, we've had them send us here some estimate sheets asking if it's correct and if any changes need to be made. But this is what we have found and what we've heard is this is a slow time of year for the PSIs just because kids are just getting out of school, and so there aren't a ton of people looking for huge jobs, huge bathroom jobs and stuff like that. And so because everybody's at home during the summer, they aren't looking for huge jobs, and so it should start picking up. But this is a slower part of the year, and that's what we've been told by a few of the PSIs.
Corey, have you sent over Clayton had created that workbook or material book for the PSIs kind of as a practice sheet. Did you have any luck, or did you send those over also?
You're asking Wayne?
Corey from Ed Seaver Shop. He was saying that he had emailed all the PSIs.
No, I don't recall seeing that sheet, no.
Okay. I can email that over to you, and you guys can take a look at it and see. That might be helpful to send also with your email to attach, and then it's also on the G Drive.
Okay, that'd be great, thank you.
Hey Kelly.
Yes, sir.
This is Marcus. I did end up using that worksheet,
Uh-huh.
which I think was helpful. I'm not quite sure how helpful. At least it was helpful when I sat down with them and went over all that and told them they could use it just kind of as a, as practice. But I found that they still send me the sheets trying to make sure that they get it right, which I appreciate. But I know that they're pretty busy. I'm not sure how much they're actually using it. But yeah, either way, they still send out a whole, a lot of quote requests.
Right.
They either been sending me an actual drawing, or they've been sending me the actual quote sheet asking, is it accurate?
And that's a service that we're open to providing. We want them to if they have questions, because we'd rather them get it right whenever they're quoting that, and we want them to feel comfortable enough to ask us questions and have that customer service relationship. Just whenever you're emailing them, anything with the measurements that I can add in the work orders, please make sure that you're copying that email right there on the screen, the lowe's@mail.glassdoctorka.com, and that goes to Clayton and myself. And we can pick up any of those notes and add them, or any attachments that we feel need to go with those work orders. And that goes also whenever you're emailing out the stores. If you guys don't mind just copying us, then we can update our spreadsheet that we're working on with finding out which stores have been visited, which stores know about the program, which stores have questions. Clayton and myself have divided up the markets, and we're actually calling the stores ourselves and finding out which ones still need to have the books or have the estimator sheets on there, and getting contact information. So if you guys come across any new contacts, if you will send them over to us, then we can update that sheet, and that would be super helpful. So, any other questions on meetings or going to the stores?
No, just Wayne, I have somebody working to try to find, to get all the funding people's names from all the different stores, and it's just gonna struggle. Trying to get as many names as we can, because I want to fill out that sheet as well, so I can send some emails.
Right. And we appreciate you sending that over, Wayne. Thank you for that.
Hey, Kelly, I think you've talked to Toby that works with Mainsbury.
Yes.
We spoke with him. He's been to try 4 or 5 loans, and his opinion is that the 2.2 design, at least up here in Michigan, really don't have the time to sit down and go over the how to price out the shower doors. But he said he gets a lot of success with the plumbing department, where the old people in plumbing are great, and he said they're happy to see him. And he said that he thinks the right shoot area is where we could do really well, because a lot of people at Lowe's, at least the people we spoke to, said that either to be an M2O made to order. Are you familiar with that acronym, M2O made to order? Are you familiar with that, Kelly?
I'm not. I haven't heard of that one yet.
Yes, in Michigan, probably all of those stores. When they have people with a national product, and they might look at Arizona product, and then they may want to. So then Lowe's will send out a glass company to go measure, confirm the measures, and then the person in plumbing then takes control, ownership of the job. They work with Vasco or Arizona to get whatever particular type of style they want. And then when the shower comes in, then that representative Lowe's then has to put it, the glass company go out and do it, and the glass company gets paid a subcontract fee. But they like the legacy too, because they said, look, we told me, we don't have to touch the job. If somebody comes in and they want heavy frameless, we'll send them to you, and then we don't have to deal going back and forth.
Right.
picking up, putting it down when they're doing either Nebraska or, for example, Arizona, wherever the manufacturer might be. So he thought that was a great selling point. Hey, we'll actually to give it to us, we take ownership, we'll send you the price back to the system. If the customer wants it, and then we deal with the manufacturer direct, and there's not picking up, putting down, finding out what the status of the jobs are. It's just dealing with us direct. So that's actually where we'll probably focus. We'll try to do the PSI, but to be honest with you, there's a number of people in the PSI department saying, that's not my job. They don't even want to be bothered. They say, we're not going to price jobs out. We don't do that. Now, maybe they don't even know their own law and votes yet. I don't know. But I
Okay.
thought that the legacy, too, was where the grand slam would be for us.
Well, that's where we're seeing the majority of our work orders right now. Again, we like the PSI jobs because that's where the money's at. They come over already sold. But if Toby will include that Lowe's at mail.glassdoctor.ka.com and let us know which stores he's visited and which what's the feedback, then we can try to see, what's going on with the PSIs. Why are they,
Yeah, Mike, this is Mike Gay. I just walked in and kind of overheard that, and that's great feedback. I would say don't give up on the PSI. You're not going to be able to walk in and sit down with them without a scheduled appointment. That's for certain. That's just not going to happen with the PSI. But where you hear, if a PSI says that's not my job, or again, we're talking with the head of PSIs. We need to know what store that's coming from, because I'm sure she would want to help fix that, and it may just be.
In fact, I'll get the name of that.
Right.
I told Toby who works with me, I said, look, I need this in. Sure, I'll get you the name in the store. But
Right.
he blew me right off. That's not my job. I don't do that.
Right.
He's the head of PSI.
oh yeah.
I talked to Toby about this one.
Okay.
His name also.
Yeah, and that's the kind of stuff. The week we don't have our call, we have it with Lowe's, with our contacts at Lowe's, and that's exactly that kind of feedback they need to know, so they can help. They can help get to the bottom of that, because that's not what they want. That's not the way they view it. And by the way, the PSIs and Siebers is an example. The PSIs is the best part of the business if we could get that going. There's no question about it. And then if you get both of them working well, it's a home run.
Kelly, this is Jeff again.
Yes, sir.
Did you ever look into being able to find out if we can facilitate the payment to get the order going?
Yeah, we don't have a go on that. To be able to accept payments in the field, it's not everyone will be able to be set up to do that.
Yeah, what I'm getting at, everybody that's on the call, we have had several of the people that we go out and measure for say, okay, I'm ready to go. Can I place the order with you? And we're having to tell them, no, you have to take this pricing sheet and go back to the Lowe's store. And they're like, okay, all right, well, I'm not sure when I can get back to the store. So they would like to place the order, but they're being prohibited in a certain respect, because they're like, well, you're handling everything. Why do I have to go back to the store to order it? You're here to measure. You're giving me the price. Why can't I place the order? So in the customer's eyes, we're not able to take the ball across the goal line for a touchdown.
No, we agree, and Lowe's agrees, but I've pushed that. The where we will end up is we will end up being able to take payment, but right now that's a no-go, and then they recognize that, and we've been around and around with them, and I'll continue to bring that up, kind of trying to find out what has to change, but they right now that's one I haven't been able to win yet, and they know that makes it a bad experience, and it affects closing rates, and it's something that we got to get changed as soon as we can figure out. As soon as we can get a green light on that. So that's good feedback. You're not wrong.
In addition to that, let me ask you this. Is it possible for the customer to call in and pay?
I think in the past, no, but I'll try to push that envelope. I'll try to push that envelope, because again,
that may be able to bridge that gap and make our closing rates go up.
Right. And here's the challenge, Jeff, is that someone the size of Lowe's, the privacy laws are what's driving that. They're not willing to take any risk with the privacy laws.
And also,
Okay.
I think it has something to do too. They want the customer to bring in the quote, and they have the quote in their system too to match up and make sure they're, they go over and make sure that they're talking about the right thing. But
Yeah, that shouldn't be an issue.
something will.
We'll make sure we bring that. Let's revisit that. We'll bring that exact feedback. It is a problem, and we've told them that. But I'll push. I haven't pushed it in a while. I'll bring it back up and push.
Sure. I mean, if it was just one person that said something, I would go. We've received this feedback from I think 4 different customers.
Right.
Now.
Right. No, it's not convenient. It's not. It's not convenient. And the goal is to make this easy, and it doesn't make it easy. So.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And I understand. I mean, I understand both sides of it. So it leaves us once again in the middle, but we're trying to please the customer. And like I said, it seems like we can go so far, but we just can't quite go all the way. So.
Correct.
But yeah. Okay.
All right, Clayton.
I just wanted to reiterate being comfortable using the shower design guide, just so that when you get questions while you're visiting stores or if they send you stuff, you're comfortable answering questions and not just pricing stuff, but actually answering questions such as what's included in these numbers in the quoter. And so you are able to tell them, this includes labor, this includes the material, here are the steps you go through to use it, and it includes tax, depending on where you are, and you're able to answer those questions. And I just wanted to reiterate that. And also, if you'll see at the bottom, we don't want to give the design guides to the plumbing departments. It's kind of a moot point because we're going out to measure. They're paying the $35 and we're going out there. We want to give them the laminated sheets so that they have a ballpark figure that they can look at and show the customers. But we don't want to waste money on printing these nice design guides and give them to a department that has no idea how to use it and isn't going to need it because they aren't going out to the customer's house.
Okay, that is a change. In the beginning, we were told to pass out one book to the PSI and one to the plumbing department.
No, we gave 2 per store.
Supposedly to do that.
We gave 2 per store and 2 to keep at your shop.
Yeah, no, Wayne. I think that's a misunderstanding. I don't think we wanted them to have one for the PSI and one as a backup for the PSI, and then we wanted those 2 laminated sheets to go to the plumbing department.
I misinterpreted all that.
Okay. Now at the end of the day, you can move it on over, but because the problem is the legacies where you're having all the turnover and stuff. The PSIs, the way they sell is that the big win is being able to price it in and sell in the door.
I understand exactly what you're talking about. I'm just saying, at the very beginning, I remember thought I was supposed to give out one to the PSI and one to the plumbing department.
Okay.
Anyway, I understand.
Yeah. If they only have one if they only have one as a PSI, that's not the end of the world. But when and if you do go by the stores, you may want to shift that over. But and if they are using it, then we could, we're certainly willing to see how it's working. But I don't imagine we want that. I think that's making it more complex on that side than we want, because that's where they're going to have all the turnover.
Well, that's fine. It saves me a lot of time. I was spending a lot of time going over explaining the book to the plumbing people.
Okay. Sorry for that. Sorry for the confusion.
Okay. Well, that's why we have these calls.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. I wanted to point out that we're working with Cardinal to have on the confirmations and on the invoices to have the 7% discount as a line item, and we're trying to get them to show that, but right now they don't, and so we want to make sure and keep track of the invoices and the confirmations that they're sending you, so that we can go back and make sure that they are charging us what they agreed to. And so when if you receive Cardinal confirmations, if you receive their invoices, just go ahead and upload anything you have regarding a work order to Corrigo. That way there's no question about where a document is, and we have visibility throughout our side so that we can communicate to Cardinal, and on our side here we can fight for you if you haven't been given that 7% discount for some reason.
Yeah, guys.
Okay, I can tell you this. As of today, I placed an order yesterday. I mean, not an order, but a quote. And I got it back, and I wasn't sure that I got the discount, so I called this morning, and no, they did not give me the discount. I said, well, how are you guys going to know whether you get a discount? I put on the work order, Lowe's shower program, and they missed it. And so I said, well, how can we make sure we get this confirmed? And so he said, well, write big letters Lowe's on the top of the work order, which I will do on my drawing next time. Right. And I said to them, I said, well, look, I need to know that you're giving me the best price, so you need the initial underneath the Lowe's word, so I know that you're giving me the right discount. And they sent an email out today to the other people in their departments telling them to do that.
Okay, Wayne, the training on this is the cover sheet needs to be the Lowe's order form that we provided. Okay.
Well, I'm just after a quote, though. I'm only after a quote.
Okay.
I'm not placing an order. I'm only trying to quote something.
Okay.
And I've been in the same boat too, Mike. I have to admit, I've gone through the exact same scenario that Wayne has described. When we get it quoted, we put Lowe's on it, so they know they're quoting us Lowe's. We had one that Clayton was involved with where we had 4 different prices that came back on a shower.
Okay. Okay, so here's a couple things. As I'm sitting on them on this end, I would still use that order form. I would just write in big letters, quote only, right, on that order form, because that they're going to look for that Lowe's logo on it. I mean, that number one, and you can give them whatever backup drawing or whatever you want, but that's what they're going to trigger. Right now, what Clayton's telling you is we're going to watch on your behalf. We're auditing and looking to make sure you got your 7%, you got charged the right price. And when we get them doing what they're supposed to do, which they've been a challenge, then we won't even have to ask, because it's supposed to come to us when they send you out quotes and acknowledgement. As long as it says Lowe's on it, we're supposed to always have a copy of that. But we kind of got to make sure we're working it from both sides until we get them conditioned to do so. We've got a call with Cardinal later this week, and the message is going to be, I want the 7% on the discount. I'm done asking, right? Because they're not consistent, and I also want this other stuff improved. But we're just going to have to double check on both sides right now to make sure. Now, they are implementing a brand new pricing system, but it's going to take them, they're probably 3-4 months away, which will make all this automated. So this variation you're getting from ISR to ISR, which is certainly not okay, that the opportunity for that to even happen is going to get eliminated through this system. It will automatically pull up and calculate. Right now, the reason you're getting that problem is they're doing it manually. And that creates opportunity for interpretation and mistakes. And right now, all we can do on your behalf is help check that.
So the way it's supposed to work. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Using that order form that says order, it's opening up things to have them place an order and send it to us. It really should change another form, just like this estimate only.
Okay, we can do that. We can make one if we're having that need. We will make one up. But right now, go ahead. If it's an estimate only, do whatever you're doing. We'll make a identical form that clearly says estimate only, and get that out to everybody.
I just see it a possible error. That's all.
Okay, no, that's easy enough to do. You'll have 2 forms there. If you want an estimate, you'll pull up estimate only. We'll just change that header, and that will solve it. We'll get that out to you guys.
On the order form, though, it does say there is a box for quote and a box for order. If you circle the one that says quote, circle the side that says quote when send it over. I was just on the screen there a minute ago.
Here it is.
Yeah, it is on there.
Yeah, circle quote, circle quote. Yeah, circle quote and not
That's
order.
scary.
That
You can
should,
change this
yeah,
so
well,
much.
I understand it does say order form. It should say quote / order form.
Right.
Just like it's quote and order down the box, it ought to be quote and order up at the top.
We can
Because I
change
can
that.
see how that could be confusing.
It's good feedback.
But I think if it's quote and order at the top and quote and order in the body, that would probably fix that problem.
Right. We'll do that. We'll send you out too. But you're right. We can, if they send it and you put quote only and you click that box, they're accountable. They didn't read it. Right? Wayne, what I would say is if they happen to ship,
I know
then,
that happens.
well, no.
It
Well,
does.
No.
here's the other side of it, though. When you place an order with them, you have to sign off on the confirmation sheet of what you just had there where it said confirming only. Any order that we place is not just placed from this form. They then will send it to us to sign off on.
Okay.
So we don't ever just place an order by the other sheet. Once the other sheet is done, then they will send us just like the one you have here now. It says confirming only.
Mhm.
We have to sign off on this page saying we're accepting it at the price that they have on there. Then that turns it into an order.
Okay.
So you can't turn it into an order the way they're set up now.
Okay, I don't place the orders, so I don't do that. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll make sure my
Yeah,
people know that.
they do have a step in there that they're doing it. But my question is, as far as the discount goes, let's just use an even number. Let's just say your order form or your quote form shows that it's $1,000 price to us. So when that shower is built and it's delivered to us, it really should be 7% less than that we're charged. Is that correct?
Yes.
I think they should quote you with a 7%.
No, yeah, they should quote you with the 7% in there.
So then we know that it's
Right. I mean,
so how do we know we're really getting the 7% then?
well, that's what we're changing. Right now we're having to double check by either going back, but
Yeah.
that's what we're having to
That's what I'm.
Yeah.
That's
That's what we
getting
have a
at.
meeting
I'm not
for.
sure that we ever really get the percentage.
Yeah.
How do we know we're getting it off?
right. And you know what? That's why I'm insisting it's got to get on the invoice, right? I mean, it's got to get on the acknowledgement in the invoice to show that the 7%, there's a 7% discount. And that
Yeah, like on the sheet that you're showing on the screen right now. Let's use a $1,000 example.
right.
Let's have it. It should be $1,000, and then there should say last doctor 7%
Last
discount.
discount.
Shows it, and then your final total.
Agreed. Now, what you could do is you could go through there and you could, I mean, you know, you could go through there and look against your costs and price a few things out. It would tell you that the 7%'s already in there, you know, because if you look at like the glass costs or whatever,
It does say.
and like this one does, they did put it on there, right? Did they put 7%?
Mhm.
Right. So, but you're right. That's exactly it's not clear enough. It's not clear enough, and what we're finding.
And the consistency isn't there.
And the consistency's not there, and that's what we're sitting on with them. But that's exactly why Clayton. That's exactly why Clayton said, if we have it from your side, then we'll help double check to make sure. I think we should double check from both sides.
And what I'm looking for right here is this Lowe's Stevens. That tells me the customer's name, and then we will know whenever you guys are having your order coming in. So we'll grab that, and then we'll grab the date when it's supposed to ship, and we go the day after. So if Lowe's calls and you guys haven't had a chance to update the work order, we'll tell them that it's set to arrive 2/23, like this one here, the day after. So make sure you use this
Yeah,
order
I just-
form.
I see that the way it's set up right now, it's very hard to hold their feet to the fire as far as the price goes, because it's kind of like you don't know if you got it or not.
Yeah, well, that's what that number one is. They're systematically that's going to change. We're in a short-term period, and that's exactly what we need to double check, and you need to double check, and to the extent we do that, then we will close that loop. If we find out that they missed any of them, we'll get you credit. But why Clayton's asking is we're going to double check, and we're asking you to do the same. Then we shouldn't miss any. And that is just a short term. That's a short term need. Okay, until we get it laid out the way we are demanding, and they're going to cooperate. I just got an email back that that they're going to get it figured out. I'm not happy. I'm not happy
Safe
with.
to assume that quoted price is with the 7%. It's all in.
Yes.
It's our discounted price.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And we'll get them now. By the way, that confirmation, like the one you saw, when it's happening right, it'll say it right on there.
Mhm.
So I mean, this still brings me back around to this question: how do we really know we got it? What do we have to compare it to? If they say it's the discounted price
Shows
is $1,000,
Glass
they
cost.
charge us $1,000. What do we to know whether we really got the price we're supposed to?
Well, that's what we're wanting them to show, that price, and then have a line that shows a 7% every time.
Oh
Right.
yeah, no, I'm in agreement with that.
Yeah, that's
puts
what
it
we're
out there
working
so
at.
everybody sees
Does the
that they're getting a
confirmation
discount.
show the
But
glass
the way it is
cost?
now, if they quote you 1,000,
It
they
just
charge
shows
you
the price.
1,000.
It
Did
doesn't
you
show
get the
the
7% or
prices.
not? Who knows?
Right.
How will you all check? How will you audit it?
Well,
we have the price sheets, and I believe y'all do too, which is how we build our shower design guide from that we received from Cardinal, and we can go back and use the square footage to calculate what the price should be, and compare that to the confirmation and invoice that they send.
Okay.
and we have had a
All right.
couple, and that's why it's important that we get those confirmations too, because we did have one just last week where Clayton's like, that looks really high and kind of, off, and so he was working with Cardinal to make sure that 7% was in there. So
Yeah, what happens is you get your square footage pricing. We can test that, right? Because it's going to be your square footage pricing less 7%. So we have the ability to go. And again, we'll be glad to work with you behind the scenes because we need to tune this up. In the meantime, we're concerned like you are that check happens.
Right.
And-
I'm not saying that they're intentionally doing
Right,
it.
right,
I just we have experienced that depending on who gets your quotes,
right.
your prices could be all over the map.
Right. That exactly, and that's exactly why they got to get this new system implemented. In the meantime, I'm telling them that can't happen, but we got to inspect what we expect. And Clayton, work with Clayton, and to the extent we don't have what we need to be able to test it, I believe we do. We can help you. We can help answer your question about how are we catching it, and how can you go about catching it.
Right.
Yeah.
I think we'll probably Clayton. I'll give us some of the ones that we've completed, and we'll try to do some kind of an audit on it and see if we've gotten our square footage price or not.
Sounds good.
Good.
all right, you guys. Our last thing I wanted to just remind everyone is our Corrigo network here. This is our example page. I believe this looks exactly like what you guys see. So make sure you're going in and adding these messages, keeping the work orders up to date. There are several shops that are doing a great job on that. Just make sure that we have the current update. Because when Lowe's calls, I pull up the work order, and then I want to be able to give them the real-time update on there. This is what I look at. I was just going to show you guys. So see all these here that say measure? I'm missing when those are scheduled. Well, this is a PSI job, so we don't have that yet. But the legacy ones, we want to make sure that you're putting in those dates in the notes. So I'll be able to tell the Lowe's store whenever we're going out for that.
So everything runs downhill. What's going to happen? The better job you are putting in dates and notes, then we don't have to call you and hound you guys. And Lowe's, where we're going, as we get Lowe's visibility to the system, they're not going to have to call us, which now leapfrogs us to everybody being happy, because we all spend a lot of time tracking down and calling for stuff, and and that's a pain, and it's a loss of productivity to everybody. So to the extent you guys can get disciplined at just putting it in there, we'll get disciplined at showing Lowe's how to find it without even having to call us.
And the Lowe's stores are actually they're all going to be, once the work orders are sold, they're going to the CPO office. And so they asked last week, we're working on getting them all set up. So they'll have visibility. I've kind of sheltered that maybe we aren't that great at notes just yet. But they're going to be going live on the portal to be able to see all that visibility.
CPO Central Production Office.
Yeah,
Rather than
sorry.
it being in the back office of that store, it's going to a central area for the region. And there's going to be people watching this. We're going to be setting them up electronically. And when they have questions, we're going to train them to send the notes to us electronically and try to, deal with everybody electronically so it's efficient.
Right. Yeah,
So
that makes sense.
So these are our work orders that we got today. These 4 here are over the weekend. So great job putting in our measure date here. Well, that's already past 6/13. That date's wrong.
It just hasn't been picked up.
This isn't a new one. This one is, so this is an example of, it's a new job from 6/13. So make sure that you are picking up the job, or accepting the job. So then it will change. And I know that you guys have received it. So all of these here are new jobs that need to be picked up or accepted. So then the status will change to open
It should
for-
get easier and easier. I mean, at first, and again, we're gonna be on the phone working with you until we get it flowing. And it's not so prohibitive today, but where this is going and where we expect it to go as we expand and as you guys start seeing more volume, it's the only way it can work. The other thing is if you keep a count on your work orders, and once you see 2 or 3 months or a couple months where you're over 7 of them a month, then it's time for you to switch to the $35 plan rather than the $5 or whatever it is per work order. So you guys are going to want to keep an eye on. They have a unlimited, I think it's $35, and you guys that are starting to see activity, you're going to want to switch to that as soon as you're comfortable that you're regularly seeing that amount of activity.
All right. Does anyone have anything else that you want to cover? We're right at 4 o'clock here. Anyone have any questions or anything else they want to discuss? All right. Well.
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay, awesome. Well, I really appreciate everyone joining us on the call today. Make sure we're going out, visiting the stores, communicating with the stores, and driving those POs and work orders to be sent. And let us know if you have any questions. Just email Clayton and myself at thelowe's@mail.glassdoctork.com. And that's all I have. Do you guys have anything else?
Yeah,
to
just
add?
keep us involved so we can run support for you, and so we can also work upstream on continuing to hammer out these things. But keep us in that CC'd in that email and all those correspondence so we can run support and help help you guys.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you everyone, and you guys have a great week. And we'll touch base in 2 weeks on our next call.
All right.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye.